The Galactic Council sat in their shining silver hall. Tall alien leaders from across the galaxy looked down at a blue hologram of Earth. Some of them laughed quietly, others smirked. To them, Earth was small, weak, and still young. One elder alien, a four-eyed Greylax named Varun, raised a clawed finger and said, "This primitive planet just discovered faster than light travel last century. They are not a threat," he added, with a wide grin. The others nodded in agreement. They thought Earth was just another noisy child in space. But they were wrong, very wrong, far away. Hidden under the surface of Earth's moon, an ancient system came online. The dust moved slowly. Lights flickered on for the first time in hundreds of years. Metal doors creaked open inside a forgotten lunar bunker. And in that darkness, something stirred. A voice calm and powerful whispered through the silent air, "Eclipse One. Activation complete." Back in the council hall, the conversation continued. "We have more important enemies," said the Czar General. His race had crushed dozens of planets. "They should be honored we even speak of them." Another alien, glowing with energy, added, "They are creative, yes, but still children. They need another 100 years to matter." No one noticed the human listening in. Commander Alina Reyes sat in a dark corner of the trade station. Her translator chip picked up every word. She said nothing, but her eyes narrowed. She was part of a secret Earth mission. Watching, waiting, and now, she had heard enough. She returned to her ship, a small scout vessel parked near the moon as she entered orbit. Her ship's systems picked up something strange. Buried deep under the moon's south pole, a massive energy pulse appeared for 3 seconds, then vanished. Alina's heart raced. She tapped her comms and said, "Command, this is Reyes. I need permission to land, now." The reply came with silence first, then a short message granted, "And be careful." Her ship descended, slow and quiet, landing near an old rock formation. She wore a black suit and stepped onto the dusty gray surface. Her boots crunched softly. No one had been here in years, maybe centuries. She followed the scanner then. She saw it. A huge round door built into the moon itself. Hidden under layers of dust and rock, a blinking light turned green as she approached. The door opened silently. Air whooshed out. Inside was a long hallway filled with soft white lights and smooth walls. The place was untouched by time. Then she saw the ship. It was enormous. Almost a kilometer long, sleek black metal, ancient symbols glowing faintly along its side. Read one word in Old Earth language, Eclipse One. The name chilled her. Her comms crackled again. "Reyes, what's happening down there?" She whispered, "I think I found something big," as she stepped closer. A platform lowered from the ship's side. She walked up slowly, heart pounding. The entrance opened, and a soft female voice greeted her. "Welcome. Human DNA match found. Access granted." Inside, the lights came on one by one. The air was fresh. The floors were spotless. It was like the ship had been waiting. At the center was the command bridge, shaped like a circle with glowing control panels. She sat in the command chair without thinking. Suddenly, the screens turned on. One showed the Galactic Council talking, still mocking Earth. Another showed systems powering up shields, weapons, engines. And then the voice said again, "Orders, Commander." Alina sat frozen for a moment. The ship was not just a relic, it was a weapon. Built long ago by Earth's forgotten ancestors, the Council had no idea this existed. She looked at the stars beyond the window and whispered, "They think we're weak?" Then she gave her first order, "Power up everything." The ship rumbled softly. A low hum filling the halls. Lights outside the hall glowed with energy. Engines activated. The ship rose slightly from the floor. Outside, the dust began to lift. A storm of power filled the silent moon's surface. And deep in space, sensors on alien ships picked up the surge. "Unidentified massive energy detected on Earth's moon," said one alien officer, the Czar General. Shrugged, "Probably another mining machine." He laughed again, but far beneath them. In the heart of a reborn warship, Eclipse One waited, and Earth had just answered the galaxy's mistake. Commander Alina Reyes sat in the command chair of Eclipse One. The ship's lights pulsed softly around her, like a heartbeat returning to life. Every screen was glowing, every system online. She didn't fully understand what she had found, but she knew one thing: this ship was not made by today's Earth. It was far older, far stronger, and it had just chosen her as captain, commander. Primary systems are fully operational. The AI spoke again. Its voice was calm, soft, almost human. Lena took a breath, looked at the panels, and said, "Run." A full scan of weapons, shields, and engine capabilities. One by one, the results appeared. Weapons, hyperbeam cannons, antimatter torpedoes, gravity disruptors, shields, phase shift armor, kinetic reflection fields, solar absorption plating, engines, dark matter warp drive, lightfold boosters, stealth jump systems, every number, every stat, far beyond anything. In the galaxy today, Alina leaned back in the chair, stunned. "Who built you?" she asked quietly. The AI answered, "Humans, Commander, long before your modern age. We were the first to reach the stars. Long before the Council was born, we fought a great war. And we vanished to protect what remained outside." The ship slowly lifted off the moon's surface. Its engines hummed like a sleeping dragon awakening. Dust and rock scattered below as it rose into the black sky. Alien satellites picked up the movement, and in the outer ring of the solar system, one Zarn scout ship received the alert. Captain Vorax of the Zarn Empire squinted at the screen. Unidentified vessel. Human origin. What? That can't be right. His crew scanned again, but the data made no sense, sir. Its mass and energy levels are off the charts. It's not a battleship. It's something else. Back on Eclipse One, Alina gave her next order: test weapons systems. Lock onto a nearby asteroid field. The AI responded instantly, firing primary beam in 3, 2, 1. A bright white line flashed from the ship's front cannon. It hit the asteroid belt and vaporized 10 massive rocks in 1 second. The energy pulse continued for 2 more seconds, turning space into fire. Alina blinked in shock. That was just a test shot. Correct, the AI replied. This ship was designed to end wars before they began. She turned to another panel. Are there any records of other ships like you? The AI paused for a moment, then said, unknown. All records beyond this ship were erased after the fall of Terra Prime. She didn't know what Terra Prime was, but she could feel its weight. The ancestors had hidden too much now. Those secrets were waking up again back on the Zarn ship. Alarms were ringing, Captain. That energy beam destroyed the entire belt. Vorax growled. What kind of tech do these humans have? He sent an emergency message to the Galactic Council. Unknown human warship. Extreme threat. Possibly ancient. Permission to engage. The Council responded quickly. Observe only. Do not engage. Do not provoke. But Vorax ignored them. He was a warrior, proud and cruel. He gave the order. Fire plasma missiles. Full spread. 12 missiles launched toward Eclipse One. But as they approached, the ship shimmered and vanished. The missiles passed through empty space. Where did it go? Shouted the Zarn crew. Eclipse One appeared behind them in a blink. Its engines had folded space, teleporting it silently. Alina watched the Zarn ship on the screen. They fired first, she said. Return fire. The ship's left cannon. Activated. 1 pulse. 1 shot. The Zarn vessel exploded into a ball of fire. Nothing remained. No escape pods. No survivors. The message was clear now. Earth had awakened. And it was not going to be pushed around anymore in the council chamber. The news came in. Zarn scout destroyed. Human warship confirmed. Power levels unknown. Panic began to rise. The council leader said, find that ship and find out what Earth is hiding. But they were already too late, because Reyes had just sent a signal. To Earth, a message that said only one word: ready, across Earth, deep in old military bunkers. Old AI systems started to light up. Hidden war machines whispered to life after centuries of silence. And somewhere, beneath the oceans, another ship stirred. The galaxy had thought Earth was young, but Earth was only quiet. Now, the storm had begun. Eclipse One drifted silently through deep space. Its hull shimmered with black metal, smooth like glass. No ship in the galaxy had ever seen such design before. The Galactic Council had no idea what kind of monster was now awake and commander. Alina Reyes was just getting started. She stood at the front of the warship's command bridge. Stars moved slowly outside the windows. Her crew was small, just a handful of secret Earth operatives she trusted, each of them handpicked. Trained for deep space combat and intelligence. Now, they stood inside the most powerful ship humanity had ever made. Target acquired, the AI said. A Zarn outpost, 12 ships in orbit, 1 weapon station on the planet. Alina gave a quiet nod. Stealth mode active? Confirmed, the AI replied. Cloaking systems are stable. We are invisible to all known sensors. She looked at her crew. Today we make history, she said. We're not just fighting back. We're reminding them who we are. The ship moved like a ghost. No light, no sound, just a dark shadow moving through stars. It slipped past Zarn patrol lines without alerting a single drone. Below them, the Zarn station floated lazily, unaware of the doom above. Reyes pointed at the largest warship in orbit. Target that cruiser full power. The crew braced themselves. The AI locked on and fired. A beam of white energy blasted forward. It didn't explode. The Zarn ship simply disappeared, gone. Reduced to atoms in less than a second, the rest of the Zarn fleet panicked. Enemy attack. One of their captains shouted, "Where did it come from? We see nothing." Another ship turned its guns and fired wildly into space, but they hit nothing. Eclipse One was already moving, faster than light, faster than thought. In the next 5 seconds, 3 more Zarn ships exploded. Each one taken out with a single silent shot. The outpost tried to launch its defenses, but Eclipse One jammed all signals and shut them down. It was like fighting a god with a stick. Alina gave her final command. Fire antimatter torpedo at the weapons station. The torpedo launched, leaving a thin blue trail. When it hit, the planet's surface lit up like a sun. The weapons station, the command base, and the ground fleet were all vaporized. Not a single human casualty, total destruction in under 60 seconds. Reyes stood on the bridge, her face calm but focused. She turned to her crew. "Send the message to the council," she said. A young officer nodded and transmitted the footage. It showed the destruction in full, from start to finish, along with one message. "This is Earth's answer." Back at the Galactic Council, alarms blared. Leaders from every alien race gathered. In panic, the footage was horrifying. Ships gone in seconds, stations destroyed. Single human warship behind it all, Varun. The same alien who mocked Earth before, now shook with fear. "What is that ship?" he shouted. "How did they build such power?" The council leader looked pale. "This isn't new tech," she said slowly. "This is old, older than us all." "I think we made a terrible mistake." Meanwhile, on Earth, the president and global commanders watched the feed. They sat in silence as Eclipse One hovered over the burning Zarn moon. Then the president stood and spoke. "Let this be a lesson to them. We may be quiet, but we are never weak." The people of Earth began to cheer. The message spread across the internet. For the first time in history, humanity had struck first, and they had won. But not everyone was celebrating far away in the outer systems. The Zarn homeworld called for war. They wanted revenge, they wanted blood, and they had fleets 10,000 strong. But none of their ships had faced Eclipse One. Inside the ship, Reyes stood alone for a moment. She looked out at the stars and whispered, "You brought this on yourselves." The war had begun, but this time, it was Earth that fired the first shot, and the galaxy would never forget it. The galaxy shook with fear. News of the Zarn outpost's destruction spread like fire. Through every star system, 12 Zarn ships, a fully armed weapons station, and a planetary base gone in 1 minute, destroyed by one human warship. Alien networks played the footage again and again. A black ship appearing out of nowhere, firing beams of light, disappearing like a ghost. The name whispered across every newsfeed, Eclipse One. Inside the Galactic Council chamber, panic filled the air. The council had always believed humans were too young, too slow, too peaceful. They were proven wrong. Now they were scared. Council leader Nerix, a tall, silver-skinned being, raised her voice. This was not a warning shot, this was a declaration. They have power beyond anything we've seen. They must be stopped before they act again, but others were not so sure. They attacked only the Zarn, said a Varn diplomat. They did not harm civilians. They could have destroyed more. They were sending a message, another. Added, and the message is clear, do not underestimate us. Meanwhile, in a private chamber on Earth, Commander Reyes spoke with Earth's leaders through a secure channel. The ship is ready, she said, but the galaxy is watching us now, Earth's president. A calm, older woman named Alara Quinn nodded. You've made history, Commander. She said, but now we must choose. Do we strike again, or wait? Reyes paused, then answered, if we wait, they will gather their armies. If we strike, they will fear us, and maybe respect us back on the Zarn homeworld, Emperor? Draco screamed in rage. His claws scraped across the war table as he shouted, destroy them! All of them. Earth must burn. He ordered the launch of 50 war fleets, thousands of ships loaded with the best weapons in the galaxy, all headed toward the Sol system. The Zarn believed power was everything, and now their pride was wounded. Other alien empires began to panic too. Some held emergency meetings. Some activated old defense grids. Others tried to contact Earth directly, hoping to avoid war. One alien race, the peaceful Valeri, sent a message to Reyes. We saw your strike. We understand your pain. We offer peace. We offer knowledge. Reyes responded with a short message. We will not strike the innocent, but we will defend our world. As the galaxy trembled, Earth stood still. But not idle, across Earth's hidden bunkers and deep ocean vaults. Ancient machines stirred. Old AI systems came online. Blinking for the first time in ages, ships once buried beneath mountains rose through hidden hangars. The Eclipse protocol had begun. Earth's people watched in awe as the skies filled with shapes they had never seen before. Huge human starships, lost for centuries, came back to life, not built in this time, but before. In the age of the first colonies, their names were strange and powerful. Nova Hammer, Iron Ghost, Sol's Fist. Each one carried weapons Earth had forgotten. Each one remembered the war that erased their creators. Now they served again, and Reyes was their signal to rise. Back in the council chamber, panic turned into division. Some races called for peace talks with Earth. Others shouted for full invasion. The council split into two camps, diplomats and warlords. Council leader Nerix tried to keep order. We must not provoke them further, she said, but the Zarn. Fleets are already on the move, the diplomats warned. If you fight Earth now, we may all burn together, but no one could stop the storm. Not now, not after Eclipse One, as the Zarn fleets crossed into human space. They meant no resistance at first. Their commanders laughed. They hide again, said one general. But then, the sky blinked. Out of nowhere, 10 human warships appeared, each one cloaked in dark armor. Silent and massive, they didn't fire first. They waited. One Zern ship launched a missile, and that was enough. Eclipse One appeared above them, its weapons locked, its engines glowing bright. Reyes stood calmly at her console. Fire when ready, she said. The Zarn fleets were cut in half in moments. They had no chance. Their pride was no shield. Their power was no match. And across the stars, alien empires watched in silence. Some shook with fear, others bowed in respect. A few prepared to kneel, because Earth was no longer the weak one. Earth was rising, and this time the galaxy would remember. Commander Reyes walked alone through the lower decks of Eclipse One. Every hallway was lit with soft white light. The walls were clean, untouched by time. This ship wasn't just old, it was perfect. Like it had been waiting. She stepped into a small chamber. The door slid open silently inside. Rows of glowing memory crystals floated in the air. AI, she whispered. What is this place? This is the vault, the AI replied. Here lies the true history of humanity. Reyes walked closer, her fingers gently touching one of the glowing crystals. It lit up brighter, then projected an image into the air. A planet Earth. But not as she knew it. Skyscrapers touched the clouds, cities floated above oceans, and in orbit. Dozens of warships circled in formation. This was Earth before the fall, the AI said. Over 20,000 years ago, Reyes blinked. 20,000. The AI continued. Humanity once ruled half the galaxy. They created ships, weapons, and technology that no other species could understand. They were not just explorers, they were architects of the stars. The hologram changed. It showed a war, massive alien fleets attacking, planets burning. Reyes watched humans fighting bravely. But the enemy was endless. This war lasted 1,000 years, the AI explained. It broke the stars, cracked entire systems, and nearly erased humanity to survive. The ancients made a final choice. They erased their own presence. From the galaxy, they shut down their machines, hid their ships, and went silent. Reyes whispered, "That's why no one remembers," the AI replied. "Correct." And we were left behind to wait. She felt a chill in her chest. All this time, Earth believed it was young. But it was only sleeping, and now the galaxy had woken it up. Back on Earth, President Awaken stood before a world broadcast. She shared the truth, the footage from Eclipse One, the vault. The war from 20,000 years ago. People watched in silence. Some with wonder, others with tears. The world finally knew who they really were. Old scientists confirmed it. Strange. Ruins under the oceans, old signals from deep space. It all makes sense now. We were powerful. We were advanced. Then we hid. Across Earth, people began to understand. The starships rising now weren't new inventions. They were reactivations. The war technology being used wasn't alien, it was human. Humanity had built the greatest weapons the galaxy had ever known. And now they were coming back. Reyes returned to the bridge, her eyes sharper, her voice stronger. "This isn't just a war," she said. "This is our return." The AI added, "Other ancient ships are awakening, Commander. Earth's signal has been received across the old network." Reyes leaned forward. "How many ships?" 83, the AI answered. "Scattered across space, hidden under stars, forgotten in black holes." They were waking up. Back in the Galactic Council, the truth began to shake everything. Ambassadors received Earth's message, along with footage of the ancient war. The Council viewed humanity with new eyes. They were not young. They were survivors, warriors, ghosts from a forgotten age. Many alien races began to back away from the conflict. They no longer wanted war, they wanted distance, but the Zarin Empire refused. Their Emperor Draco still shouted lies. "Tricks, I will crush them all." He launched his main invasion fleet, over 2,000 ships. The largest force ever assembled by a single empire. They entered human space like a tidal wave. Confident, proud, ready to burn Earth. But Reyes had already moved. Eclipse One met them head-on. Along with 5 other awakened ships, each one ancient, massive, and deadly. They didn't speak, they didn't warn, they just fired. The first clash was over in 2 minutes. 1,000 Zarin ships were destroyed before they could react. The second wave tried to retreat, but Earth ships blocked the path. Inside the Council, silent horror filled the room. The galaxy had mocked Earth, then feared Earth. Now they were witnessing the truth. Earth was not returning as a victim. Earth was returning as a superpower. On the bridge, Reyes stood calm as the stars lit up with fire. The human warships moved together like dancers, each one hitting with ancient precision. She turned to her crew and said, "They thought we were children. But we are the ancestors. We are the builders. We are the storm." The galaxy was holding its breath, from the deepest trade hubs to the silent outer colonies. All eyes turned toward Earth. A planet once thought simple, young, and harmless, now stood at the center of the greatest secret in galactic history. Earth had stopped hiding. From space, Earth's orbit no longer looked quiet. Ancient warships floated above the blue planet, each one glowing with strange energy, each one older than any living race. Names like Saul's Hammer, Red Warden, and the Silent Flame returned from myth into reality. Inside the United Earth Command Center, President Awaken stood before the United World leaders. She looked tired but calm. She played a final message from Commander Reyes. It was meant for the galaxy. The screen lit up, showing Rhea standing on the bridge of Eclipse One. Behind her, stars moved slowly. She spoke clearly and simply. To the Galactic Council and all its members, you thought Earth was new. You thought we had no history, no power, no legacy. You were wrong. We are the children of a forgotten empire, not because we were defeated, but because we chose silence. We chose to hide, to survive, to wait now. We remember, and now we return. The message spread across every planet, translated into every language. Even the most powerful empires listened in silence. Crowds watched on massive screens. Ships paused in space just to hear it again. Aliens who once laughed now whispered. The humans were never young. They were the first on the Zarn homeworld. The Emperor watched the message in a rage. He roared and threw his crown across the hall, but even his own generals had stopped speaking. Some lowered their heads. Some began asking if war with Earth was truly worth it. At the same time, something even bigger was happening. In the old ruins across the Star's End moons, asteroids and dead planets, other ships were waking. Forgotten ships with Earth's old markings came online. Some shaped like daggers, others like flying cities. They responded to Earth's reactivation signal. And they all headed home. The galaxy saw them traveling. In every sector, someone reported, another human ship just passed us, right? And they all flew toward 1 Point Sol system, Commander. Rhea stood with her crew on Eclipse One, watching as the fleet grew. Dozens, then hundreds of awakened ships entered formation. Old voices returned from the silence of space. Protocol re-engaged. Terra signal confirmed. Standing by for flagship command. Rhea spoke. The words given to her by the AI, the same command once used by the ancients. All vessels of soul, you are home. The ships aligned like they remembered how to breathe together. They needed no map, no orders. They were built to protect Earth. And now, they were ready again. The Galactic Council could no longer deny it. Earth had become the single most dangerous power in the galaxy. But something strange happened. Earth didn't invade. Earth didn't demand tribute or take revenge. Instead, Earth sent one more message. Let there be peace. But no, this we will never be mocked again. That message changed everything. Some alien races began to reach out. They offered alliances, trade, even apology. They wanted peace peace with the old humans. The Council voted to recognize Earth as a founding power, a status higher than even the Zarn or the Valeri. The vote was almost unanimous. Only the Zarn refused. Still angry, still wounded, but the rest of the galaxy now looked at Earth not as a joke, but as a legend that was real. In schools across alien worlds, new history books were written. Chapters once ignored now spoke of the old humans. Children learned the names Eclipse One and Sol's Hammer, and new star maps marked Earth with the Golden Ring origin world. Back on Earth, people cheered in the streets. They watched the ships above, and they knew they were no longer alone in the galaxy. They were respected, even feared, but most of all, they were remembered. And Reyes, standing alone on the bridge, whispered to herself, this was never about war. It was about truth, and now they finally see us. The war was over, but the galaxy would never be the same. The Zarn Empire had lost more than ships and soldiers. They had lost their pride. Their fleets were broken. Their homeworld defenseless. And yet, Earth didn't destroy them. Instead, the human fleet stopped just outside their star system. Eclipse One stood silent in the void, its weapons powered down. Commander Reyes looked at the screen where the Zarn Emperor's face appeared. His eyes were tired, his voice no longer proud. What do you want from us? He asked, not in anger, but in defeat. Reyes replied calmly. Nothing. Came to remind you who we are, not to become what you feared. The Emperor lowered his head. For centuries, we'd laughed at you, called you weak, Reyes answered. We were quiet, not weak. You mistook our silence for weakness, and it cost you. The humans did not demand land. Gold or power, they gave only one condition. Ever again would Earth be treated as less. The Zarn agreed, and the war ended. Not with destruction, but with understanding. Across the galaxy, a strange peace began. The old enemies now watched Earth with careful respect. Trade began, slowly at first. Aliens came to Earth, not as conquerors, but as students. They studied the ancient human technology, the ships, the weapons, but more than that, they studied the humans themselves. What made them rise after hiding for so long? What gave them such power and patience? The answer was not in the machines, it was in the spirit, the human spirit. On Earth, the world changed. The nations became united like never before. Old borders faded, replaced by one voice, one planet. Humanity had discovered its past, and now it chose its future. Rhea stood before the New World Council, not as a general, but as a symbol of what humans had become. "We were forgotten," she said, "but we never stopped being who we are. We are creators, revivers, protectors, explorers." The people cheered. Children dreamed of becoming Starship pilots. Artists painted the sky full of ancient warships returning home, and poets wrote about the silence that once protected Earth. In orbit, the old fleet remained, not as a threat, but as a shield. Ships like the Silent Flame and Nova Ghost became part of Earth's defense wall. Their systems now linked to Earth's command, always watching, always ready, the AI of Eclipse. One spoke to Reyes one last time, "Commander, the mission is complete. The memory of Earth is restored. The galaxy remembers." Reyes nodded. "And what about you?" she asked. "I will rest," the AI replied. "My voice will sleep again. Until Earth needs it, goodbye, Elena Reyes, guardian of the past." The ship powered down slowly, lights dimmed, engines cooled, but it remained in place, a monument. A warning, a legend. Years passed. The Galactic Council held its first meeting on Earth. Alien leaders walked on human soil, shaking hands with those they once mocked. New pacts were signed, new stars were mapped, and at the center of it all was a quiet blue planet that had once been ignored. Reyes visited the moon one last time. She stood where it all began, at the hangar of Eclipse One. The dust had returned, the silence too, but this time it felt peaceful, not forgotten. She looked up at the stars and smiled. "They thought we were young," she said softly, "but now they know the truth." Above her, in the sky, a new human ship passed overhead. Its engines hummed gently. It carried explorers, not soldiers, and its name, painted in glowing letters, was Hope of Terra. A symbol of the future, built from the fire of the past. The galaxy had feared Earth, then respected Earth. Now it welcomed Earth, and Earth had finally come home. The end.